So Omori is a kind of old school style RPG about a group of friends traveling around this area called Headspace, which is a place inside Omori's mind. It's kind of this like fantastical dream world where a bunch of kind of wacky stuff happens, and we're basically uncovering a big secret that Omori has in his real life that's kind of being like suppressed within the Headspace world. The game begins in Headspace. It's a place where no one can hurt you, and your friends will always be by your side. It's basically a place of nothing. In this area we have a laptop, we have tissues for drowning our sorrows away, we have Muo the cat, we have this weird looking journal thing, and we have a knife. What are we going to do with these things?
First of all, we're going to go through this mysterious white door and see where it takes us.
So in this first little room here, we meet our friends Aubrey, Kel, and Hiro. Aubrey is kind of like the de facto girl of the group. She's kind of fun. She has her little plush Mr. Plant Egg. Kel is a bit of he's a bit of a butthole, to be honest. He carries his pet rock. He's cool, but he kind of antagonizes Aubrey, which she's not a big fan of. And then there's his older brother Hiro. I cannot gush about Hiro enough. Hiro is like the perfect man. He is the perfect worker. He is the perfect friend. He is so amazing. The whole internet could gush about Hiro for hours. Hiro is literally perfect. There is nothing wrong with Hiro, and I would do anything for that man. I would do anything.
Now that we've met all our friends, let's head out into Headspace. First things first, we do a little meet and greet hide and seek game with our secondary friends. What a bunch of extras. And then, it's time for dun da da da!
Boss battle! So this is literally a battle against a guy named Boss, who captured our friend Basil and is kind of holding him captive, quote unquote. We have to fight him, and this basically just teaches us the main mechanics of the game. This game's battle system is very reminiscent of a lot of like old school turn-based RPGs, but there is one neat twist, and that is the addition of the emotion mechanic. The emotion mechanic is basically a game of rock, paper, scissors, where your party members can either be angry, sad, happy, or neutral emotion. So depending on one of those emotions, they have advantages over the other emotions. And the game gives you this like neat little rock, paper, scissors chart just so that you can learn the emotions properly and learn what you should be using and when. It really like lends to the energy of the game, just makes it a much more fun atmosphere.
The combat gets deeper than just the emotion mechanic too. We have plenty of special moves and items at our disposal as well. Some of these can be used in tandem with specific emotions for extra punch as well. It's a battle system that's extremely fun to play, with enough nuances to keep it fresh throughout the whole game.
So after the battle with Boss, he releases Basil and he reveals that he was just kind of messing around. And we tell him to just kind of screw off, and we're going to go to Basil's house now. So on the way to Basil's house, we get this adorable kind of exposition explaining how Basil sees each of our friends through comparing us to flowers, basically. It's this really cute sequence. As we reach Basil's house, we do another boss battle against Ye Old Sprout, and we kick his butt. We won't be seeing him again. As we enter Basil's house, he literally lives in a shoe. We look at a bunch of pictures, and then there's one photo that is not supposed to be there, and we're whisked back into the real world from our dream. We eat this weird microwave steak, go vomit a little bit, Mom, I threw up, and it's back to the dream world. Now in the dream world, Basil is missing. We have no idea where he is, so we set out looking for him in a bunch of different places. We really have no idea where to look. First we go to Otherworld, which is basically the kind of space part of Headspace. We do battle against Space Boyfriend, who he goes 3 different identity changes, from Captain Spaceboy to Space Boyfriend to Space Ex-Boyfriend. It's a very funny sequence of events, and the boss battle is very interesting. There's a banger soundtrack that you're fighting to.
So unfortunately, we don't find Basil here, and Captain Spaceboy has no idea where he could be. At this point, the gang decides to continue their search around Headspace, and next up, we go into Firefly Forest headed towards Sweetheart's castle. On our way there, we encounter the King Crawler. It's this horrifying amalgamation of dead sprout moles a la the human centipede. It's a tough fight, but through the power of friendship, we come out victorious. Now,
we go to Sweetheart's Castle, which is basically one giant D&D reference. The enemies here literally roll for an initiative at the beginning of each battle by rolling a d20, and depending on what they roll, that determines like how they attack you and how strong they actually are. It's a really fun mechanic, and
if D&D were as fun in real life as it was in the game, I'd play D&D.
But anyway, in this area of the game, Hero does like this little dating game where, once again, he is found as the perfect man, and Sweetheart wants to date him, but he doesn't want to date Sweetheart. So we kind of escape that. We go around the castle, we kill the sous chef. We watch a riveting film. We kill Captain Spaceboy. And then we go on a pot-destroying rampage, like Link from The Legend of Zelda.
This all culminates in a boss fight against Sweetheart herself. In this fight, she abuses the emotion mechanic to get the upper hand over your party, and it's quite a fun fight. In the corners we have Omori's team, and they're mad. And in the center we have Sweetheart, and she's just about as happy as me when I pogged for the first time.
So I haven't mentioned the other half of the game here. Omori takes place in basically two halves, the dream world Headspace and Faraway Town, which is real life for these characters. And you're playing as this character named Sunny. You're given the option to name him in the first part where you transition to the real world, but I don't want to connect my name to his crimes. So, you see, we're going with the canonical names here, which I prefer anyway. In Faraway Town, we basically learn that Omori's Headspace world is basically like 4 years in the past, and obviously Faraway Town is in the present. So we get to see how these characters are interacting nowadays with each other.
We learned that Mari's death was a key event for our friend group that essentially caused it to break up. In everyone's grieving, they all went different directions with their lives as time went on. Hero left for college, Aubrey and Kel each made a bunch of new friends, and Sunny kind of closed himself off. We also do a bunch of street fight style fights against Aubrey and her friends. You see, at this point, Aubrey is essentially in a gang known as the Hooligans. It's a group made up of a bunch of Aubrey's kinda strange classmates, and they do not like us. There's a sibling duo, Kim and Vance, who rob a candy store and then proceed to wreck Kel and Sunny in a fight. In addition, we have Charlie and Angel. They exist. Lastly, we have Angel's master and my personal favorite, the Maverick. This dude is so cool, he can get 2 girls to go out with him at once, for a fee. And he literally has his own theme song. Check it out. What a Sigma! Then there's Aubrey. And in our fight with her, Sunny literally cuts her with a knife. Sunny, what is wrong with you?
The Faraway Town sections are leading up to Sunny's big move, which is happening 3 days from the start of the game. So we only have 3 days to basically tie up any loose ends with our friends and progress through the story before Sunny has to leave. So back to Headspace. Omori is kind of lost and he's on his own because his friends got captured by literally capitalism, okay? They signed contracts and signed their lives away to get jobs where they'll get no compensation and they will work there for the rest of their lives. So we do battle against Mr. Jawson, the best boss in the game, by the way. He's a literal loan shark, and he literally doesn't even attack us, fun fact. So after Mr. Jawson is defeated, he summons Pluto, the literal planet Pluto, to come kill us.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway, he lets us go. Yeah, it was fine. He didn't really care. I'm not going to spoil the story any further, but just know that it only gets progressively darker from here as more secrets are revealed, and the game gets very scary at certain points. You're definitely going to want a box of tissues for this one, because it's a tearjerker. And the most fun part is, once you've played through the game, you get to do it again, only this time, you get to do an entirely different route, because depending on if you let Kel into the house in the beginning of the game, that determines the route that your game is set on. So there's the Omori route, and then there's the Faraway Town route, which is basically like the main route of the game. I'm definitely going to be revisiting the game to play the Omori route because I want to see how they differ and if they like end the same. I gotta say, if you're like a fan of Earthbound or any other like kind of old school RPGs, I would definitely check out Omori because it is so cute. The like crayon art style is amazing and it's kind of what drew me into the game at first. It's an aesthetic masterpiece. I also hear that the console version has exclusive content, so if you have a console, I mean, I would probably play it there if you can because you're only going to be gaining stuff, not losing stuff. But I did hear the game is 16:9 there, so there's some trade-offs in that department. 4:3 is king. So yeah guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider giving a like and subscribing, and I'll catch you later.